Like the title says, here's how to build good habits and break bad ones using atomic habits. Habits are the cornerstone of our lives, and most of our daily actions in themselves are habits. This video is going to be solely focused on and referenced by the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. And one of the very first things he talks about in the book is how getting 1% better every single day counts for a lot in the long run. However, these changes will make little to no difference until you cross a certain point, and that's why the key is to be consistent and patient. An atomic habit is a small habit part of a larger system, and he refers to them as the building blocks of remarkable results. In the larger context, this is the most powerful line in the book. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. He also says the best way to change your habit is to focus on who you wish to become and not what you want to achieve, and I couldn't agree less. So a habit is a behavior repeated enough to become automatic, and all of them, no matter what, whether good or bad, has the same science-backed feedback loop, and that is cue, craving, response, and reward. A cue, which predicts a reward, will initiate a behavior, then triggers a craving, which is the force, motivation, or desire to act on a habit. This then leads to the response to satisfy the craving, and which provides a reward. In the book, James Clear develops his own practical framework in order to build good habits and eliminate bad ones, and that is the 4 laws of behavior change. So in order to build a good habit according to this amazing framework, I'll explain each. The first law is to make it obvious, and this can be correlated to the 2 common types of cues: time and location. There are 3 ways you could build this. Number 1, implementation intentions, which is I will, bracket certain behavior, at certain time, in a certain location. Number 2, habit stacking, which after any current habit you already have, you stack another habit you want to do on top of it. Number 3, design and enhance your environment to make the cues to the good habits you want to build obvious to the eye. The second law is to make it attractive. You could do this by temptation bundling, pairing an action you want to do with an action you need to do. Number 2, be around people who also value your desired behavior and people who value who you want to be. And number 3, do something you enjoy right before a difficult habit. The third law is to make it easy. And you can do this by reducing the friction to get started on habits, preparing your environment to make future actions easier, and using the 2-minute rule to get started on things and beat procrastination. So you will do a habit for 2 minutes, decide then whether you want to continue or not, or make sure your habits last no longer than 2 minutes. And the fourth and final law is to make it satisfying. You can reward yourself immediately after a good habit is complete. Make sure you're not doing it completely out of pure force, but also highlight the benefits of completing a good habit, or if you're avoiding a bad one. And finally, track your habits using Habit Tracker. Keep a streak and do not miss more than 2 days in a row. I've got an entire video on a physical habit tracker myself on my YouTube channel. So this is how to break bad habits, and these are all inversions of the first 4 laws of behavior change. That is the complete opposite. Law number 1, make it invisible. Reduce the exposure to these habits and remove any cues. The second law is to make it unattractive. Reframe your mindset to see the benefits of avoiding the habit you want to lose. Law 3, make it difficult. Increase the friction between you and the bad habit. And you could also use a commitment device, which is a choice you make in the present, locking in future behavior, such as automating certain tasks so that you don't have to spend time doing them later. And law number 4, make it unsatisfying. And you could do this by getting an accountability partner who watches over your behavior, or make a habit contract with another person to make the cost of your bad habit public and painful. Now, obviously not literally. If you want one of these contracts, you could go directly to atomichabits.com/contracts, which will take you directly to James Clear's website. And that's how you actually build good habits and actually break bad ones. But there are also some few advanced tactics in the book as well that I also want to mention. One is to choose the right habits to build and to quit, the habits that align with you naturally. He points out how habits will actually become more boring the longer you do and the more they become routine. However, to overcome this, there's no other option. In the book, he says, anyone can work hard when they feel motivated, but it's the ability to keep going when work isn't exciting that makes the difference. And as one of the last chapters in the book, he mentions how the more that habits become automatic, the less that we pay attention to small little errors. And that's exactly why we should reflect and review our habits every once in a while to make sure that we are mastering the habit to its fullest extent. And all of that summarizes the main points inside Atomic Habits by James Clear and the key takeaways for me. However, if you're questioning anything, I highly recommend that you get this book yourself and read it for yourself, as it contains much more description, detail, evidence, and science to build good habits and break bad ones. Finishing it off with his famous line, tiny changes, remarkable results. Goodbye.